Hello Cruising World, Mick the Suit Guy with you. It's Monday. Monday is tips day. And today, I've got something a bit different. I'm going to give you some tips on Virgin cruises. So if you haven't cruised Virgin before, I definitely recommend trying them out. Pros and cons, you know, but that's not what the tips are. But I'm going to give you some tips in a second. I really don't have many cons, lots of pros. The price is a bit pricey, that would be the con. But the price does include no kids, which is priceless sometimes. It includes your gratuities, it includes your Wi-Fi and everything, you know, so it also has like water in the room and stuff like that, so you don't have to pay for all that stuff. So there's a lot of things that come with that to add to the value that you would spend otherwise. Restaurants wise, there's no main dining room, it's all specialty dining restaurants or the equivalent of. So imagine you're eating in the steakhouse, I'm comparing it to Carnival, or you know, the teppanyaki, you know, not the same restaurants, but you're eating in specialty restaurants every night and it's included in your fare. So, you know, when you break it all down, it's not terrible. And they have suites, what they call Rockstar, which is really good as well. I was thinking about this the other day. The only con to me of Virgin would be if you were doing a long cruise. Now they have 6 specialty restaurants on board, 6. And say you do a back-to-back, you're doing 14 days or whatever, you've got to repeat the restaurants. So there's no dining room with a different menu every night. It's going to be basically the same repeated. And one of the restaurants is like, they call it the test kitchen, which is one set menu and that is it. So you can pretty much only do that once. Now the other restaurants have got choices on the menu, but you know, you're stuck. So I don't know, that's splitting hairs. But overall Virgin's really good and I do recommend trying it. If you're interested, I'm trying to put together a little group to go on a Virgin cruise for my birthday next year. Just a quick 4-day, so you can sample it and see what Virgin's all about. So if you're interested, email me. My email is coming up at the end of this video. It's just going to be a 4-day out of Miami, going to Key West and the beach club at Bimini. I have videos on my channel of the beach club. It's amazing. They turn it into their own private spot. All the drinks come ashore, food comes ashore, the food's amazing, and they have a DJ coming out there. It's a really good fun day out. So, you know, if you ever wanted to try Virgin, a 4-day cruise is probably a really good way to try it. So if you're interested, email me and I will get you information. Anyways, what are my tips on Virgin? Just some basic tips. And this really is geared towards people that have not cruised on other cruise lines. They're used to doing things very differently. For example, like Carnival, you can book your restaurants anytime, any day in advance, right? The specialty ones. You could go on and book the steakhouse on night 1 at 7, as long as that, you know, until it fills up. With Virgin, it's very different the way they do things. Shore excursions, for example, you can go in pretty much as soon as they release them, usually about a year out, and book your shore excursions. You may know that I don't usually recommend. Oh, by the way, one thing to add, I'm getting off subject, but remember, no, all these pineapples are facing up. Anyway, moving on. So they do it differently on Virgin. How do they do it differently? Well, one thing I will say about Virgin is they're very forward technology-wise. If there was ever a cruise line where the app is basically essential, it's Virgin. So if you're not one for using the Hub app on Carnival or Royals app or Celebrities app, Virgin, it's going to be tough if you don't have an app and a smartphone to put an app on there. Because the way you're going to do this is, and I think it's 120 days before the cruise. I could be wrong on that number. I'm going by memory a little bit there. 120 days before the cruise, you can go ahead and book shore excursions. And normally, they allow the Rockstar people, the suite people, to go in a few days before that and book the excursions. That is especially applicable to the beach club at Bimini, where they'll have a special area for the Rockstar people, but also if you wanted a cabana, they do get first dibs, and I get it. They pay more money, they should. So I got no problem with that. But yeah, so you'll go onto the app 120 days before whatever it'll be clear when you log in what the date is, and then you can go and book excursions at that point. The point I'm really trying to make here is that you and everybody else is going to be doing that at the same time. So it's literally a first come, first served. So you want to be on that. And that is important for shore excursions, but it is triple, doubly important for restaurant reservations, because the best times are gonna go quick. And I would definitely recommend booking a Virgin cruise early rather than later. I have a client that decided they wanted to go on a Virgin cruise last minute. They booked the Virgin cruise. It was a great cruise, had a great time, but they couldn't get seats in any restaurants. They literally, only 2 of the 5 nights they could eat in a restaurant because the others were just completely sold out and full. So the way the restaurants work is, and again, I think I'm correct in these numbers, but if I'm wrong, correct me in the comments. Rockstar, I think it's 60 days before the cruise, and the Sweet People. And for everybody else, 45 days before the cruise, you can go in and make your restaurant reservations. And you'll do that on the app. So you're going to go through one by one. Like I said, they have 6 different restaurants. They have the test kitchen, which is where it's kind of like a chef's table, but it's just one meal. And you'll know what's coming because everybody around you is eating the same thing and you'll see it coming out, but it's still fun. They give you the main ingredient in each course, and they build each course around that one ingredient. So that's fun to do. They have a restaurant called Razzle Dazzle, which is a vegetarian with meat options. Lots of meat options, so not really a vegetarian, but that's kind of a fun little restaurant. They also do a brunch in there as well. They have a steakhouse, which they also do a brunch in. They have an Italian, they have a Mexican, and they have Korean barbecue, which is a lot of fun and very interactive with the wait staff and everything. By far the most fun restaurant, in my opinion, is the Korean barbecue. Surprisingly, my least favorite restaurant was the steakhouse. I'm not a huge fan of steakhouses anyway, but you know, I'm not saying it was bad, but everybody's different. Ignore me saying that. But anyway, so you're going to go in there at 45 days out, and I recommend doing it as soon as you can, and book what you want on each night. Now you can only book 1. You can't go in and book 5 nights at the steakhouse. You can only do 1 night at the steakhouse, 1 night at each restaurant. Not exactly sure how they approach that on a cruise longer than 6 days. I'll have to find that out. But because most of the cruises, well, the ones I've been on have been 5 days. So I'm assuming you can do 2 on the longer cruises. I'd have to check that. If you know, put that in the comments. You know, you start doing these videos and you get halfway through and, oh, this is a good video. And then all of a sudden, oh crap, why didn't I look that up before I recorded this? And now I'm not going to redo it. I'm not going to start over. I'm just going to leave it to you. Put in the comments what happens on a longer than 6-day cruise. If you want to repeat them when you go on board, you can go and put your name down on a wait list. So if you want to do the steakhouse 5 times, you might be able to, but you'll have to put your name on a wait list each night. The other thing is, booking it early is you get your choice of times. So, you know, the chances are, if you don't do this until like a week after that date comes out, so say you're at 30 days now, and everybody else has had 15 days to make their bookings, or 30 days if they're Rockstar, chances are you're not going to get the steakhouse at a convenient time to you. You're going to get what's left, if there's anything left. 9 o'clock, 5 o'clock, whatever. You're not going to get those prime times of like 7 to sit and eat dinner. So very important, in my opinion, know the dates in advance, go in there and book that. On a side note to that, with things like shows, you cannot book them in advance. At least last I went, you couldn't. They may change that at any point. What you had to do is when you get on board, there'll be a line to sign up to watch the shows. And the shows are very popular and the theaters are not the largest. They will sell out. So if you want to get to watch a show and at the time you go to do it, it is still not available on the app, when you get on board, get straight in that line and put your name down so you can go to those shows. They're very good shows, not too many of them, and not the largest theaters. So if you don't do it straight away, you're not going to get on board. And one last thing I'll tell you about Virgin for now, there'll be more coming up over the weeks. They don't have a drink package, per se. They have what they call a bar tab. Now, a lot of their special offers will include a bar tab. Onboard credit, they call it Sailor Loop is the onboard credit. Bar tab is bar credit. So obviously with the bar credit, you can only use it for drinks. But it's not exclusive to you. You can buy drinks for everybody else. So I'll add a thought at the end of this when I explain what I'm about to explain. And I'm not saying it would, you know, logistically it should work, but is it allowed? I don't know. You'll see what I mean in a minute. Anyway, with the bar tab, very often your offer will come with a $100 bar tab or whatever. Special, they do some really good offers and deals on Virgin, so keep an eye out on those. But if you buy a bar tab, they will give you a bonus depending on how much you buy the bar tab for. So I just went on and checked this morning. I did check this. So if you get a $200 bar tab, and this was just updated a couple of weeks ago, so this is hopefully new and up to date, because they used to do a $100 bonus, and I don't think they do that anymore. $200 bar tab, you get a $25 bonus. $300 bar tab, you get a $50 bonus. $500 bar tab, you get a $100 bonus. $750 bar tab, you get a $175 bonus. And a $1,000 bar tab, you get a $250 bar tab. Here's my thought on whether this is ethical, that's the word I was looking for. If there's a group of you going, say 4 of you going, right? If you all got a $200 bar tab, that would be an extra $100 between you. If one of you got a $750 bar tab, they would get $175, which is $75 more than you would if you bought them individually. Now, bear in mind, only that person can buy those drinks, so they would have to be with you when you get the drinks, so that makes it a little bit complicated. But if you're one of those really tight-knit groups that hangs out all the time, might be an idea. But yeah, that's the bar tab. So depending on how much you book the bar tab for, you'll get that bonus. Of course, you don't have to, you can pay as you go. And I will say drinks are not overpriced at all on Virgin. They're very reasonably priced. And you can, when they do that beach club at Bimini, you can use your account ashore as well. So there's a lot, it's a very different, that's why I think like that 4-day cruise I've got coming, if you're intrigued about Virgin and you're not sure if you'd like it or not, that's a perfect opportunity to test it out. It's very, very, very different to say a Carnival cruise. It's like chalk and cheese. You couldn't get more different if you tried. And you may love it, you may hate it. I will say this, I've yet to have anybody go on a Virgin cruise that didn't want to book another one immediately they got back. But no kids, so a lot of people have families, I get that. But yeah, and they offer specials all the time. So again, there's a few little tips on Virgin, and if you are interested in joining us, it's my birthday, 59. Coincidentally, the following year is my 60th, we're going big, and I've got another group on the Celebration on Carnival, and we are going to Celebration Key. So we're celebrating my 60th birthday at Celebration Key on the Celebration, and my actual birthday is the day they're in Celebration Key, and we are going to go hog wild. The Virgin will be a bit mellow, but it'll still be fun. 59, doesn't mean anything, but it's a birthday and it's cruise. So let me know. And if you want in on the 60th one, let me know about that too. I have a lot of things planned. If you know me, you know I mean that. That's about it. If you want any more, if you have any more questions about Virgin, feel free to email me. I've done a lot of training on Virgin, and I've been on a couple of Virgin cruises, and I know quite a bit about it. But if I don't know the answer, for example, how they deal with meals when it's over 6 days, put it in the comments and teach me. I learn every day. I learn every day. That's why I want you to send me your tips. Do you have any Virgin tips? Send me your Virgin cruise tips, and I will use them in a future episode. Royal Caribbean, Celebrity, MSC, Norwegian, any of those cruise lines. If you have your own tips, this is not, it started off as a Carnival channel and it's now gone to overall cruising. So it's still largely Carnival because just a background, open statement. I've done 67 Carnival cruises. I've done 2 Virgin and I have done 1 Celebrity. So I do have more Celebrities booked. I have a Royal Caribbean booked and I have a Norwegian booked. So they will be coming into the fold slowly. We're trying to get away from Carnival and expanding out to other lines. But, so that's why it's mostly been Carnival. But we're trying to get out to the entire cruising world. Subscribe if you want to. Hit that bell if you want to get notifications when these videos come out. Send me your tips, like I said, especially if they're on a different cruise line than Carnival. We've pretty much drained as many Carnival cruise tips as we can. This is like week number 119 or something. I don't even know what week this is. But we've been doing this for quite a while. And that's about it. I will see you later, Cruising World. Any questions? Email me anytime. cruisingsuitguy@gmail.com. I promise I'll reply as soon as possible. Want to book a cruise or any type of travel? We are travel agents. Check out our site, elitetravelconnection.com, or email me, mick@elitetravelconnection.com. We are here for you. Finally, subscribe, please. Pretty please. You know you want to. Go on. I won't beg you. Okay, I'm begging. Please. Subscribe. Thank you.